Should probably adjust everything before I start the stream, huh? Okay, so where were we? Not much has changed since the last stream, I don't think. At the end of the last stream, what were we doing? We were working the drummer art. I did have a pretty good day yesterday where I was mostly working on, I don't know, design stuff. That went pretty good. I'm feeling a lot better about that. I wasn't really sure what I was going to stream today. I've actually been thinking about it. As I ate my breakfast. I think figuring out what to do each day is part of the game dev process. We have a couple options. I could push into animation and try to get the feel right, especially for the drummer since we've been on him for a while, but I kind of want to think a bit more about how I'm going to structure. Right now, the body and the limbs are separate scale meshes with their own animation systems, and I don't know how I want to sync everything up yet, and I'm just not quite sure how I want to do that. And I don't know if figuring that out on stream right now is the best idea. I think what we're gonna do today is look at the trombone, because I don't know what I want to do for him yet, but I know I don't like this. I think the other characters have come a long way. Like, I think she looks a lot more polished. I actually think she could use an update now too. The back is way too dark. There's little things we could do with her, especially because of her. I did that texture pass and I didn't actually touch her. I really do like the way the drummers turned out. I think he looks good. I think that's... I want every other character to be at this quality. Oh yeah, after the last stream I wound up not getting too deep into the stand. I think I was way overthinking things, especially right now, so I just added a standard bounce that I had for all the other characters. And called it a day. That's right. Anyway, yeah, I like him. I think he... Like, I'm not 100% done, but I feel like he is the most of the way there. And I think this is the target I want for the other characters. I want to go back and touch her up a bit at some point. I gotta stop killing her. This character is way far behind. I don't think this character's up to scratch. I don't think he has enough detail. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I know I want to do something. So yeah, that's what today will be. Today we'll be figuring him out. I like the keys. Oh, let me check my chat here. Hey Afro, what's up, man? And something better. Add a classic 60s jazz hat? Maybe. The top of him is boring. You gotta be careful because they need to be able to land on their heads. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time animating her. I've been thinking about this. I might need to add an element or something for when she's... I don't know why she's floating right now. But, a problem with her character design is I wanted something edgy and something that looked like it wasn't completely a cube, but I also need something... Let me get her to land on her head. Is there a time? Okay, so here she's on her head. That doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. She's floating. Not cool. It's a known bug with her. It's one of the reasons why I gotta get back and think on her a little more. Something better. Is this Katie better? What's up? It just occurred to me. But yeah. This character. I think what I want to do... I think it would look cool if I want the front to be a giant, what do you call it? The front of the trombone? You know? Like the thing the noise comes out of. I don't know, the front of the horn. You're always allowed to creep here, Katie. Yeah, so I want the front to be that. Oh, there's so many weird design constraints here. The fuck is going on outside? Oh, there's construction. It feels like an earthquake. I like this element, but I might want to get rid of it because it doesn't fit anymore. The idea that there's an antenna. In the very beginning, in the long ago, these were like computers that were escaping. But we've definitely moved away from that kind of aesthetic. So making it look like a computer box isn't important. I like things I like. I like the keys. I like the key feet, and I feel like thematically that fits with the other characters. Yeah, this arm needs to go. This arm is definitely a holdover. That's super temp. That's the part that's going to be the front of the horn. I should start sketching or something. Like... Alright, let's look at a trombone. These are actually very simple instruments. That's cool. I like that. It's interesting the idea that there's two elements, like... how do I put it? Fuck, I don't know. I guess I kind of like the idea of... I'm just gonna do it. It's easier to just do it. Wow, you know it's early. I can't even figure out what drive I'm on. Alright, is this the latest? Oh good, I have something called trumpet and something called body trumpet. I hate me. Which one's in perforce? Alright. Body trumpet is the real one. Okay. Hey, Pathetic, what's up, man? Hey, what you do locally is fine. Those are the rules. As long as it doesn't make it into perforce or source control, no one can give you shit. It's when your madness enters perforce that we have problems. Oh, he looks into it. Alright, so what was I thinking here? That's pretty gnarly. File. The fuck? I should have extended this first. Yeah, let's do that. All of my files are a mess. Windows. The problem is I'm the one giving people shit where I work, so I still obsessively organize at home. I used to be like that. We're actually talking about, I mean, when I was a tech artist, I cared much more deeply about naming conventions and stuff. But as I work, now I work at such a small studio where it really doesn't matter that much. Like, I used to be really draconian about it. You should be able to pick up an asset off the street and know where it's from. And when you're working in a massive studio, where there's like, especially in an MMO, where there's just tons of assets, that's so important. But, now I have a hard time giving a shit. It just doesn't matter. I mean, we're at work right now and we're like talking about naming conventions and making sure everything has the same suffix. If it's the same, like, if it's a skeletal mesh, it better end in underbar SM. Does that mean static mesh or skeletal mesh? Now we have to talk about it. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. There's 4 of us. There will never be more than like 8 of us in this project. There's no need to spend a couple days figuring this out. But then again, you know, that's also laziness, probably. Wait, what was I doing? Windows? Why is my hypershade not opening? Alright. What are you used on? Fong 2. I suspect nothing uses Fong 2. You're gone. This material is called Test 2. That's good. This is Alpha Body Outlines. Is square. Okay. Right. Assign new material. Now in Engine I have actually started organizing my textures and I never went back to the art source and cleaned that up, so this might be, god damn it, I'm in the wrong directory again. I might have swung too far in the other direction. The fuck? There we go. So right now you're over here. Yeah, I think what I'm saying is I want you to be... I need some kind of guidance on my cubes here. Oh shit, hey guys. Hey Ahen's creatures. I'm sorry, I've been reading the chat. Shit, you're in Pakistan? And hey Dink Dunk. Alright, well if there's some new people in the chat, I'll go over it a bit. The shaders are pretty simple. This is just, I mean, it's literally just yellow. This is actually just a transparent mesh with, like, I drew a circle. Mostly the shaders are matte color. Mostly they're unlit. The game I'm working on is a puzzle game. So, here's kind of like the opening area. You're one of these different characters, these kind of musical instrument boxes, and you're moving around in the world and you're trying to figure out how to get from location to location. I'm still really early, so the art and everything is super temp. Obviously things get harder later on, like that character you just saw. Here's one of her later levels. This is all still very much gray box. I'm just working on the character art today. But yeah, it's a 3D puzzle game. Today I'm working on the, thank you, I'm glad you like it. The shader name that I'm using. There's no real name for it. It's just a flat shaded, like I can show you the shader in Engine. For most things, like, it's matte color, so it's literally just a color that is put directly into the emissive, completely unlit. And I use a lot of transparency, so pretty much everything is just like a color. And then the outlines are literally just planes with transparency that makes it look like a circle or like whatever it is I need it to be. I did the wobble effect on previous streams, so you can actually just look at that. It's really simple. It's just a spring on a bone. The shader stuff. Okay, where Unreal kicks ass compared to Unity would be animation and shaders. Those are the two places. I've heard people have talked about what it takes to get certain looks in Unity, and they're proud of what they come up with, and I'm like, fuck man, I could have done that in Unreal in like a minute. Once you dive into the material editor in Unreal, you can do so much so quickly. It's pretty cool. The animation system in Unreal is also really, really cool, and lets you do a lot very quickly. There's other things. I think Unity is easier to learn and easier to get into initially, because it's such a lightweight kind of an engine. They have their advantages. Yeah, it's a puzzle game with this kind of light narrative to it. Oh, are you doing Let 'Em Dare? 2D animation. Have you heard of, I don't know much about it. I mucked about in Spine for like 10 minutes and immediately hated it. But, and I've heard it's terrible. Is Spine integrated into Unity by default? Or was I messing with something that's very different? Cool, Asen. Alright, so today, Asen, I am trying to... I'll just run it through it. So, you saw the accordion. The character I kind of like right now is my drummer. I think he's the furthest along. He's definitely the furthest along. I actually think I like this character. This is the closest. This is what I want everything to look like. As I draw near a ship, I want everything to kind of look more like this. Like all the assets, the background, everything will kind of look about this level of polish. I need to get the other characters up to here. The character that is the most behind is this one. He still has temp art, for instance. I just need to start from scratch, almost. Well, I like the shape of the body. I like the keys. I'm going to keep that element. Maybe move them around a bit so they're not quite so uniform. I'm going to get rid of the antenna. I've got to just start thinking. I don't really have a plan here. I'm just going to futz around in Maya and see what happens. Because I have no idea what I want to do. He's so boring. And he's going to be the coolest, because he's a trombone. So he's got to be the coolest. I need to stick to the color palette, so I need to keep it gold, silver. Well, this yellow for the body, and only on the body. The extremities need to be black and silver. This is a huge mistake, by the way. If you'll notice, on the characters, I need to kind of give people the feeling of where the grid is. So, see how it's black for one grid tile and silver for the other grid tile? I need to do that for all the characters. And I think I gotta round it for her by adding this element that's kind of silver for just this grid tile, so that the player can kind of feel where the grid is in the character. But yeah, silver on the ends, black in the middle. What was I gonna say? Some delineation between the grid tiles. You'll see this is very temp art. There's no you have no idea how long this limb is. You don't know how many grid tiles it takes up. That's a mistake. This appendage is a little bit better, and you can see where the grid tiles are, but still, he just looks shitty. He's the one I'm working on. Hey Sniper, happy afternoon to you, man. It's hard to say happy afternoon. It's 9:30 a.m. here. Alright, Asen, you have too many questions, man. I can't keep up with you. And I need to get some work done for everybody else in the chat. But my name is Gwen. I'm from, I don't know, I move around a lot, so it's kind of hard to say. Don't worry, sniper, it's cool. Where am I from? I don't know. America. Very American. I'll put that down. It's not a good thing, but it's a thing that I have to deal with. Right. So let's start. I don't know. This is gonna be a weird day. I don't know if I'm gonna spend the whole day on this. I might get stuck and like come back later. I don't really know. But yeah, this is about the size of a grid tile. The Maya units and the Unreal units are set to be the same. So 200 units in Maya is 200 in Unreal. Alright. Hey Javix. I look remarkably fresh for this time of day. Yeah, well, it is Monday. I try to like not look like a total schmuck on the days of the week. I've been good. Javix, we have like people from Pakistan in here. This is freaking sweet. This is cool. I didn't even know there was game development in Pakistan. I want to play a Pakistani game. Like, what's made out there? Yeah, Asen just joined us. I kind of want to Google it. Somebody Google it and tell me what games are made in Pakistan. There's so much cool shit coming out of, I don't know, I guess not America. For the longest time, it was all games are made in America. Or Japan. Or they're like a shitty Korean MMO. But now we got like The Witcher. And times are changing. How many puzzles do I think I have? I don't know yet. It's gonna depend. I want a game... I think of it more as how many hours it'll take to complete, almost. Like... It seems getting through from the drums, the accordion, and the opening takes about an hour. When you add in the trombone, it takes quite a bit longer. I need to playtest it again, now that I've shifted the levels around. I want the whole game to be a couple hours at least. Some people will get stuck and not finish. This is difficult for me. I've never worked on a puzzle game. Usually when it comes to games, all the ones I've worked on in the past, like BioShock or The Flame and the Flood, you kind of like, you have an idea of how many hours you want them to play and what you want the experience to be each hour, and you want it to get harder as time goes on, and you generally think of it more in those terms. So that's the way I'm used to thinking about it. I'm not used to thinking about it as the number of puzzles. But then again, with a puzzle game, people tend to, I don't know, maybe stop playing, or they play for a bit and come back later. I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna make the game and we'll see how many puzzles there are based on when I feel like it's good. I have no idea, actually. I guess that's the better answer to that question. There'll be as many puzzles as there needs to be, and probably not many more than that, because I'm not very good at making them. Takes me forever. Plus, I mean, you get DLC opportunities. Kick it out when you have enough to make the first one. See if people like it, and then you can build with weirder and wackier ideas. Alright, what am I doing here? So yeah, so I think what I'm thinking. I want this to be narrower. The other thing is because the game is the way it is, I need the limbs to look like they're flimsy from the side, but stable enough to hold up a character in the, for the combo levels. So like later on when you're doing things like, oh Jesus, what did I just do? They have to look like they can hold each other up, right? So it's got to look stable from the, if you put force on the edges, but it has to look unstable if you like step on the side, because you're not allowed to do that. That's another kind of design constraint on the characters. Oh yeah, and that was the drum. Just fussing about now. So this is gonna be a weird character to work on. Right. Well, that's not going to work well. Shit, what am I doing here? Still gotta look like a trombone. What does a marching band trombone look like? Weird. How does somebody wear that? I don't know, it's not very iconic though. I'm glad you like it, Javas. Someday all three will look that good. Someday all three will look better. And we're gonna model them so that they can rip apart. So if you, like, I think what I'm gonna do is if you're bad at the game and you just compete, I have a couple of ideas, but one of them is if you're bad at the game and you're constantly hitting the walls, you just look more and more dinged up. I'm just gonna throw on some morph targets. Maybe some bone-based animation. You just get, like, shredded. So rather than give you an achievement for, like, going through correctly, you'll just, you know, your character won't look like garbage. Whereas if you go through and you're just guessing and checking constantly, your character will get all torn up. I think that'd be funny. I had another idea, but it got vetoed hard. Where, if you... I kind of like the idea that Steam achievements stick around. You know, you get one and you have it forever. So I kind of wanted it to be like a black mark. Like, I would give people ways to make the game easier and to cheat and to get through the levels, but if they did it, they'd get an achievement. And then it'd be like a little asterisk, like, hey, you beat the game by cheating. But, my friends pointed out that that's cruel and stupid. So I guess I won't be doing that. And then they said that I was a bad person. Not a bad person. Mostly they said it was cruel. And that achievements are supposed to be a happy thing. Nah. But I kind of wanted... I like that... I know I don't give a fuck about achievements. And I've always found it funny that so many people do. And I thought it'd be funny if, like, getting the achievements was a bad thing. And I thought it would really make some people... Like, some people would be like, fuck, I want to get all the achievements for this game, but that'll mean that I'm cheating at the game. Or people will judge me negatively for it. I kind of wanted that. Is there going to be a performance of all of these instruments the player delivers? Maybe. I don't know. That's the thing, is I'm not an audio person. My audio guy is getting back to me today. So this whole day may take a really hard left turn, depending on what I see. There's a holiday party tonight? I don't want party. It's a Monday. You like getting weird achievements like that? Well, I wanted it to be that, kind of like Shoot the Moon. Like, the very best player beats the game and gets absolutely no achievements. That's another way we could go. Kind of like, you know how the person... There's this thing in America called SATs, where when you're in high school you take this test and it helps you get placed in college. And you try to get the best possible SAT score you can. And they rank you, excuse me. The way it works is, if you get the answer right, you get 4 points. If you get the answer wrong, but it's not like a totally stupid answer, you get 0 or 1 points. If you answer something that demonstrates you completely don't understand, they can actually give you a negative point or a 0 point. There was a person who got the perfectly worst SAT score. There was one individual back in the 90s that figured out the system, went through and did the SATs, and got the worst imaginable score. It was in the negative. It was like one of the only people in the world to manage to get a negative score in the SATs. And I always loved that story. I always thought that was fun and cool. Because that's actually really hard to do. You had to kind of get into their heads and figure out what do they think is the worst answer here. So it has to be somebody who is capable of getting the perfect score, but decided not to, and went in a totally different direction. I thought that was hilarious. I loved it. Yeah. I have to shut up and work. Front, back, right. It's my current problem. Yeah, that's garbage. Okay, so... okay. This file is so old. Okay. What am I doing? To be. Save us, Ryan Gosling. Maybe it's like... we'll flare the... okay, yeah, I know what I want to do. This will be kind of like a suit jacket, maybe. Maybe he's got a tie. Why is this dude squinting in every photo? Is something fucked up with his other eye? What the fuck? Whatever. Left eye is squinty. Go with it. Oh. Sounds like a game designer. Google's pinging me. It's like, hey, you know you're sharing your location. I'll cut it out, Google. Shit. I want people to know I'm at home. Alright, well, the other problem here is you're not going to see those eyes most of the time. Can it be oblong? Would that be weird? Let's find out if it looks weird. It's probably going to look weird. Save that off because this is almost certainly going to fail. I mean, I did make the drum oblong. So then the question becomes, how far can I get away with this? Ball. Oh man, I kind of love it. I'm gonna have to do it. You know, I don't know why I'm messing with that stuff. The thing that's making it penetrate through is here. Is that perfectly centered? Because it doesn't matter if it is. Yeah, so I think I want the front to be like that. That's fun because it's kind of like a face. I don't know what the back of that should be yet. Until I figure something out, we'll just make it the same. What did I just do? When you can use Google with no country redirect. What does that do? Is that to get around, like... I don't know. I know they don't do anything crazy to our internet yet in America, but like in Russia and in certain places, you like... they censor the internet and they control it and stuff. I sound so fucking ignorant. I don't know how things work, Javix. Can you explain to me? Like, people have had to explain to me basic security before. It boils down to now I use LastPass and I just don't ask questions. People smarter than me have told me that I need to do it. Which also, by the way, makes me crazy. Like, how is it more secure to have your password in one... Like, the guys at LastPass could totally wreck my life if they wanted to. How does that make me more secure? But I don't know as much as other people about this sort of thing. Oh, my leg's falling asleep. I should care more about, you know, all that stuff than I do. do these circles exist? I see. Trombones are so weird and cool. Hey Mittens, what's up? Is it reference images day? Every day is reference images day, man. Buck teeth. I was debating that too. I mean, they will be white in game. But the thing is, I can't find an image of where somebody's playing a trombone and their teeth are showing. Right? I mean, we could go with, rather than a face playing a trombone, this is like his tongue and he's sticking it out. I actually did a scribble of that looked really cool, but that looked really like, someday, if this goes gangbusters and they make a sequel that's all rock and roll, I want to save that one. I want to have, like, Kiss, the band Kiss. As a robot that is basically entirely based on... There's a whole slew of robots that are based on Kiss in my head. That would be fucking hilarious. But, yeah. So this... I was thinking maybe nostrils, but they're gonna glow white, so... I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll get there. Everything gets there in time. Alright. Let's separate out all these elements. The fuck? Or just ignore me. Whatever, Maya. That's cool. Let's try detach. That's gonna merge them though. No, you're gonna ignore that too. Mesh. Jesus Christ. I don't hate you, Maya. I didn't mean it. It's all good. You have to put your teeth inside your lips to create a seal for the embouchure. Oh, you know more than me. The embouchure? That sounds like a French thing. Make a fart with your lips into the trumpet. I used to play the saxophone. So I have like... Which is a very different thing. You have a reed. This is like... a very different instrument. But I've seen people playing the trumpet. And it is kind of like making a fart noise with your mouth. It does look like that. People in the middle of playing the trumpet look hilarious, by the way. I like this one with the fisheye lens. That really, and the veins on his forehead. Look at this photo. Fucking brilliant. I should animate it so that when he extends, like when the robot extends, it definitely needs to like, something needs to happen. I don't know what yet. God, that'll be funny. I I do this shit and then it ends up looking too kiddie. Anytime you add too much style to a game, it starts to look well, that's not true at all. You walk a fine line between stylized and something that the market would perceive as a kid's game sometimes. Like, I think that Flame of the Flood managed to pull off the dark cartoon, and I think, like, the kind of darker stylized look is one I like a lot. But even that, some people look at it and think it's a kid's game. What am I looking at right now? I'm just looking at their crazy ass faces. I can't lose sight of our pivotal Ryan Gosling reference, guys. We need is Ryan Gosling playing the trombone. Too smarmy. His suit is basically what I'm looking at. A collar, a tie, some element. One of the things I like about, one of the nicer touches I do like about the drummer was the suspenders. Like the focus on the hat and the suspenders, especially in the back, I think really helped. I will say for the keys, it would be nicer if it was silver and it ended in black keys. I think that would fit more with the theme. If we get rid of the antenna, we do need something on the top of his head. Maybe not a hat. I don't know yet. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Definitely need to vary this up. It's super boring. What if this element was just like... We need something like a trombone stand. Oh god, now we're going back into the wrong direction. What if... repeating one of these elements wouldn't be a bad idea. Get some repetition of shape in here. Hey Craig, what's up, man? Oh, what is this? They put a GoPro in this slide? Sweet. Anyway, hi Craig. I'm sorry, I'm still catching up on the chat. If I told you I'm better looking than Ryan Gosling, that's not his features I'm looking at. I'm looking at his sense of style, and specifically the costume design, which there's no way you have better and more on-point costume design than La La Land. They were perfect. I'm sorry you keep losing us, Mittens. Unlimited data sounds sweet. You need something to do on a train. I never commute. Like, I actively avoid it. My commute right now is, when I do go into the office, is like a 7-minute walk. Did the same thing for almost every job. I just kind of moved closer to the office. It makes it so much easier. I think there was like some study about it at one point, but people who have a shorter commute are happier. It's just life. Though I know there's another school of thought there that you get a lot done on trains and stuff. I've just never personally felt that way. I hate it. Yeah, let's try something completely different. I'm just gonna pull these elements from the accordion into this scene. That's weird. Get me out of this weird ass mode. Okay. No! What did I do? Okay, app data, local temp. See, users. Oh, fuck off, Autodesk. Microsoft, you're not going to find the solution to this problem. What? Alright, the shows. Monkey Island 3 on my phone. That Google option has no restrictions and does not reference your location, but if you want to protect yourself when you're on the internet, you should use a VPN. I don't know, man. I play pretty fast and loose with most shit, so, I feel like going that far in one aspect of my life is probably, like, majoring in the minors at this point. You have a 2-hour commute? I mean, yeah, you're breaking in though, Mittens, and I think you have the potential to grow. I think you realize that, so you're doing the right thing, man. Anyway, hey, Aubrey. Microsoft has never found the solution. Yeah, I've never had a piece of software crash, and Microsoft is like, hey, yo, I gotcha. It's not gonna crash. Surprise. That comes up after it's crashed. What are you doing? And usually it's the application that's crashed has already told you, like, hey, we're crashing. Heads up. December 4th. I bet they have some interesting stats. Like, I bet Microsoft knows what the buggiest piece of shit software is out there. Yeah, here. This is my YouTube page. That's my handle on YouTube. I'll be putting these up. If you don't protect your data, a super intelligent AI is going to reconstruct you from it in the future and make you watch reruns of the post-season 8 Simpsons for all of eternity. Yikes, that's pretty dire. That's a special kind of circle of hell, I suppose. If you don't like to tinker and fix stuff, go Linux. If you know how to fix stuff but don't want to thinker, go Windows. Then you have my mom's skill level. I would just give her an Apple. I don't know about your mom, but I feel like, you know, I'm looking forward to being old. Like, old enough that you don't have to keep up on shit anymore. Old enough that people don't, like, question it when you're like, I just decided not to learn this new thing. I decided that my time is more valuable. Because all the thing is, you'll figure out how to... With technology, you can spend a lot of time right now and figure out how to do something in the optimal way. And in, like, 2 years, it won't matter. Like, the hackers are faster than you. I'm not saying... I just surround myself with people that are smarter than me and that tell me what to do. And they give me basic things like use LastPass, do this, and I just do it. And my life is better for it, I think. But I do have to... I find it funny that... If you know how to fix stuff but don't want to think, go Windows. Yeah, soon we won't have personal computers at all. It'll all be like shitty tablets or some shit. I never bought a tablet. I'm still not. Even I think that's a road too far. I feel like a tablet is a device that exists only to waste time. Like, when you pull out a tablet, you're like, I can only use this to consume media. I can't make anything with it. I don't know. There's just something about it. And again, for drawing it, maybe things have changed quite a bit. I'm probably wrong. I usually am. That sort of thing. Wrong way. Body, trumpet. This drives me crazy that Maya decided to rewrite their own, like, file thingy rather than using Windows. I could go into it, but just all the basic hotkeys that you're used to when you're using a Windows file browser and stuff don't work, and I don't know, it's just a pain. They decided to do it in this version. No. Good morning, May. Oh shit. I didn't mean to start a controversy. Tablets are essential, huh? I've inspired you to surround yourself with smarter people. I'm very lucky. I got a scholarship when I was in college to go to I did a lot of stupid things, but I got a scholarship to go to a tech school, RIT. So I met, like, everyone around me was a programmer. But I was like, I went to RIT and I got a film degree because I wanted to major in film because I was always an idiot. So basically, my philosophy in life has always been to surround yourself with people smarter than you, and it just kind of pans out. And then you can just fuck around and go to film school. That's how I ended up making video games. Be the only artist at a tech school. That and I love video games. I just never, like, when I was a kid, it never occurred to me that that was a job that I could actually do, or that was a job, period. I had no idea. Why am I doing this? I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I want to use this element like this. Don't even know what's going on here at all. Oh, that would make sense. They wanted OS agnostic file browsing. That makes a lot of sense. I got a music degree, but I was working out. Yeah. Dude, music is a hard industry to break into. You're you're actually kind of awesome for doing that. I always thought I would give up on film. I was just really burnt out at the time, and I figured I would get a master's degree at RIT and just become a programmer. Like quit, you know, dreaming and just get a real job. I lucked into it, I guess. I've There was thought into going to RIT. It wasn't just the scholarship. I can change it, pathetic. That's good to know. Aubrey. You know, if you hate game development, you could do something else. Lord knows it's not like working at a bank. It's not like this is a job. Uh, it's lucrative and intelligent and purposeful. If you don't like game development, there is no reason to keep doing it. Unless, like, maybe if you're a designer and you're totally stuck. And even that's not true anymore. A lot of people are looking for designers. Like, a lot of my friends that wanted to leave the industry, they're designers. Anybody that's tried has managed to do it. There's a lot of people out there that want, like, there's a lot of companies that know that they're behind the curve but don't know what to do or how. And they're just looking for somebody who's, like, who can explain, like, companies know we should be doing gamification, but they don't know what that means. And so they'll hire a game designer or somebody and they'll be like, you, figure out how to make us modern. That's a funny thing that's happening in the industry right now. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Why am I doing this? There's a reason, right? Maybe. Probably. have not been reading the chat. Kind of want to get into that for a sec. I can't catch up. I own a small company in Boston called the Molasses Flood. We shipped the Flame in the Flood about 2 years ago. I own it with a couple of other people. Like, we kind of started up GarageBand style. Oh yeah, they're telling. Hey Tom, thanks. Sweet. This is great. The chat's just doing my job. This is good. Also, I don't know if I said hi this morning, Tom. We can't talk about what we're working on next, which is killing me. Because I think it's cool. But you know, the next project's a bit bigger. We are looking for publisher funding. So our marketing plan and how much we say and stuff is probably going to be a collaboration between us and our publisher. So we can't exactly go around talking about it yet, right? Hopefully later we will. I don't know. I'm into open dev. I think this is cool. I think if you're careful and if you establish rules about what you can and can't show, it can be pretty cool. But again, you need to convince a publisher of that, and depending on the size of the game, I think a lot of times it makes sense not to talk too much too early. You can kind of build up hype in the wrong direction. You can get yourself stuck in a situation where you have to make a game a certain way because you said something on a stream that, you know, like there's negatives to it. Right. If you guys don't mind, I'm actually going to run to the restroom real quick and I'll be right back. Like Cyberpunk 2070. I don't know. I'm not... Cyberpunk. I used to play Cyberpunk tabletop games back in the day. It's not an aesthetic I've ever worked in. It might be fun. What's the design goal for this guy? God, the second I say I'm gonna go to the bathroom, you guys always ask good questions. Yeah, the Flame of the Flood was really fun to work on. I think I was talking about it earlier in the stream, about there's the constraints that are for just everything about the characters. Like, I need the grid to be... I need you to kind of feel the grid based on the art. I need you to kind of, like... This segment is black and this segment is silver, right? I need this character in general to just look... I'm going for an aesthetic that is, like... Not necessarily super formal, suit and tie, but, like, suspenders, kind of updressed. Talk about their fucking clothing. But, you know, like a character from La La Land, somebody who's kind of got that... Is that 60s? A character that looks like it belongs in a jazz band in a musical. Ryan Gosling. This guy is Ryan... Euler, which is the name of this character, needs to have a suit, I think. In some fashion. Or a tie or a collar or something. I really do like... I feel like I started a sort of a theme here. Where the accordion, like, there are a number of lights that are based on the number of limbs they have, right? Like, she has 3 limbs, 2 that extend when that one comes out, so she has to have 3 lights. Their feet have to kind of be a little bit... All the characters have some weird feet thing happening. She's got pedals because she's a piano. The trombone's gonna have keys. The drummer... What did I do for the drummer? The drummer has a stand, I believe. Yeah, the drummer's got his little stand, right? Oops. What are the other design goals? Yellow is only part of the body. The center part of the character. The ends of the character are always silver. Those are the parts that kind of like... Silver and black is the other 2 colors that we're working with, basically. Other design goals. I said earlier, the limbs need to look flimsy if they're hit from the sides. It needs to look like this should hurt him doing this. But they need to look strong enough that they can push up off of them and they can hold other characters. If you... a force is coming down directly on the limb. So like, see how these limbs, they're very thin from the sides, but they feel like a strong base in the top. Same thing for her. If something was to hit the top of the accordion, it would be crushed, right? But this doesn't. This looks like a solid thing, right? You could imagine like there's a bar inside of the accordion that's pushing things up and down. This is like strings and a flimsy element right here, but there's a metal piece that it feels like she should be able to stand up on, so that doesn't feel weird. Anyway, in general, he's just kind of really outdated. He also just needs to look cool. Way more dapper. Need to get rid of the antenna. That doesn't really fit with a new theme. The musical instrument kind of dapper theme. He needs to have 4 lights because he is, in this world, he's got 4 limbs. Before I was thinking a limb would just be the one element that goes back and forth on either side of him, but that doesn't work for her. Obviously, I've loaded too many maps. So I just kind of changed the idea for that. There's probably other design goals that are in my head that I'm not really talking about, but those are kind of like the ideas. But yeah, we made everything for the Flame in the Flooded House. That was a team of 6 people. We did collaborate with a musician, Chuck Reagan, and we did contract. Let me think. We did have a month of contracting for an artist out in Scandinavia. He was pretty cool. And we had audio contracting with a friend of ours to set up the sound effects and stuff in game. So for audio, we definitely used a lot of that stuff. There's no animation on the accordion yet, Major. That's just a spring on a bone that's moving back and forth. So it's just procedural. I'm starting to think I might do just almost all procedural. I have to think on it a bit, but just jiggle deformers and things like that I think might be how I do the vast majority of the animation for this game. Yeah. The drummer, I think, is close. I think this is the character that's closest to what the final game would look like. Not animation-wise, obviously. I gotta stop killing him. Just art-wise. I think he is the furthest along, by far. Second furthest along would be the accordion. I think some things for him will change once we get into animation, and because it always does. Once you start really moving a character around, you find out what would look cooler. You can definitely, one way I was successful with him is that you feel that he is a cube, and he is taking up a cube of space, but he still looks interesting. Where I feel for the accordion, she isn't enough of a cube on the top. She was before, when her backpack, like when she was actually not an accordion, her backpack kind of took up an element here. So it made sense. It used to make sense, I swear. But now, when she's on her head, she's very unbalanced. I need something here that she's balancing on. You know what I mean? This is not okay. This is unacceptable. Accordions can't do that. Alright, so those are kind of the design goals. A nice hat, or like maybe a bow. Thinking a bow, Katie, might be cool. I have to use the restroom, guys. I'll be right back. to get some soda while I was up there. The accordion is a she. I mean, technically, there is no he and she. They are metal machines without gender, but, I suppose the better way to put it would be the accordion wears a dress, so I think thematically a bow would go better with it. It's 11 o'clock, so I'm allowed to start drinking soda, guys. Come on. Plus, you guys like this noise, right? This is some satisfying, right? Oh, good morning, Yerkes group. There we go. There's nothing more satisfying. I know you have to get it out of a plastic bottle because it's better for the environment and stuff, but there's something satisfying about the sound of, like, that pop you make when you open up a metal can. You sexually identify as an accordion in a dress from here on out. That's cool. There's no judgments here, Nordal. I wonder how much money I saved in San Francisco just on the free food. Like, I saved a lot of money living on nothing but granola bars and soda. My insides are probably terrible. But, you know, whatever. Free food, man. I should always leave this up so when I walk away the screen looks pretty-ish. I don't know how I'm going to use this yet. Where the hell did this come from? Let me see. thickness doesn't really change much over the course of a trombone, it looks like. I mean, we could just to play with it, but I think it might be more fun if we try to stay closer to uniform thickness throughout. Oh, excuse me. So, like, there's kind of a... Well, everything we do here has to be able to retract. Kind of, right? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe... I mean... We haven't really set the back in stone yet. Where does extrude? There it is. Is there some kind of fun S shape we could play with here? Sorry, I know I've been ignoring the chat. What I miss, guys. Wow, you guys are hopping today. I think a lot of people survive off coffee and food at work. I have so many fucking stories about the free food at Irrational. The QA team upstairs, so we treated our QA like crap, which is standard, right? It's an unfortunate reality in this industry. We're terrible about QA. I wish we weren't. But there was a reality that our team was super massive and QA was on a separate floor. And even though there was half as many people in QA as there was in the rest of the studio, they ate like 3 times as much of the food because they lived almost entirely off the free food. And there was always some weird shit going on in the upstairs kitchen. Like somebody decided that they really wanted a specific kind of Pop-Tart but couldn't figure out which Pop-Tarts were in which thing because they leave them in the silver packets rather than leave them in the boxes. So somebody went in and opened every fucking Pop-Tart until they found the one they wanted, and like 50 Pop-Tarts spoiled upstairs. And shit like that was just going down all the time. It was super weird. And the best part was how we handled it was send out like a fucking company-wide email. It's like, somebody upstairs did this. Can we make sure that it never happens again? Which is just absurd. Like, I mean, on the one hand, you're treating people like animals, and on the other hand, it's like people are acting like animals. And I just never went upstairs. It was a scary place. I was explaining, nobody should think they can't do anything simply because they see a low number next to their IQ. Yeah, I'm real dumb. Things panned out for me, so hey. Pop-Tarts, they had other things up there. Granola bars. I don't know, the standard free shit that studios give you. Ramen. It's not like San Francisco. In San Francisco, there's a competition for, like, nice free food. This is Boston. We don't have that kind of Silicon Valley good free food culture. We have a, like, you know, it's just not as good. In San Francisco, the kitchens in San Francisco were sweet. I miss that. Oh my god, Nightbot works in my... Bad Eye, you're the only person that's used that. That's great. But yeah, Jesus Christ, guys. With the Pop-Tarts. And our crunch food was... it depends. Like, we had Boston Market every Friday. I feel like just in general, the quality bar for the free food at work was way higher in Silicon Valley, which is good. You're encouraged to like get out of the office more in Boston than you were in Silicon Valley, which is good. That part I like. I like that you weren't expected to be around all the damn time. Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way. I do like the idea of this kind of connecting up around the back. Just don't know how I want to do it yet. Like, I definitely want... That's the other thing. When it came time to crunch, and we had crunch food, they had to order 3 times as much for the people upstairs. Despite the fact that we were all eating it. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people in QA were also taking food home for, you know, like their family and stuff. Man, what a I've been at places where they treat QA better too, and that's just better for everybody, I think. And I've seen places where they treat their QA far worse. This will just be a special one that, like... What the hell is Nightbot saying? That's weird. Dad Goldfish is being creative. I'm making a puzzle game. I can explain to you what I'm doing. I'm sorry, dude. Sure, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I don't read the chat that much. Alright, so this is a 3D puzzle game. You play as one of several different characters. Your goal is to get from kind of a starting area to an end area. I'm explaining this terribly. I need to get better at that. Here's kind of... I'm very early on, so please forgive the bad art and stuff. But you can kind of roll around in this world that you're getting through. Right now I'm working on the characters and I'm working on the basic level fragments. You can fall off the world, you can hit your head against the wall, that sort of thing. Oops. This is one of the other characters. This is the character that's probably furthest along art-wise. So yeah, this is a little puzzle game. And I'll show you, obviously this is the intro area, so it's a little bit easier. As you go on, things get a little bit harder. This is one of the earliest levels for the accordion. She's trying to figure out how to get around. Obviously the art is still very gray boxed for most of this game. It gets harder and harder. Eventually get to stuff like this. You gotta like figure out how to help each other out. Just fucked it up again. But you get the idea. I should start a stream with an elevator pitch, maybe. I mean, I kind of do, but then people drop in and they ask, and I kind of do repeat myself a bit. Why musical instruments? Because, I don't know, it's a jazzy world. They were little machines and they were stuck inside doing math and boring shit. And now they're out there dancing around, being musical. It's beautiful, man. It's a story about friendship and working together. And also rotating 90 degrees repeatedly. And the various problems that come with rotating 90 degrees repeatedly. I'm an animator. I'm well versed in these problems. Oh my god, do I know this game needs audio? I'm working with an audio person. He was supposed to get back to me today, actually. So, I mentioned earlier, if he gets back to me, this stream is going to take a hard left turn. And we're going to be... I don't know if I should evaluate audio live on stream. That'll be something. But yeah, it gets cooler and cooler. They're on a journey through Euclidean space. I'm glad you guys want to play the game. That's pretty cool. That's okay, pathetic. I feel bad calling you pathetic, but have a good night. You are the perfect test audience. I like this too, because it's very small. Very few people know about this stream. So it's kind of like... Got my little click here. I'm not ready to give out a build to anybody. I missed the sub. I missed a sub? Oh my god, I have a sub. Holy shit. Who did it? What? That's cool. Thanks, guys. Chickens, were you the one that did it? Mr. Smug? I don't even know how to check that. There's probably a way to see who's in this stream. I don't know how to do it. I can see Emma's hosting me. Shit, Emma Larkins, are you here? Isn't it early in Seattle? Thanks, J Furnace. That's cool, dude. I'm pretty new to Twitch and also kind of just dumb, like, at internet stuff, so... Ninja, and I doubt that'll get a huge conversion rate, but at one point somebody hosted me and I had 100 people in the chat and I was like, oh shit, this is my moment, I'm gonna describe the game. And that was the day, like, something went weird with Comcast and everybody lost power and I just lost internet. It was the worst. Thanks, Katie. But yeah, you found the coolest game on the internet being developed right now, guys. It's real cool. I'm in love with it. I don't give a fuck what you guys think. This game is great. I finally got some level design stuff done yesterday because I had a bad day a couple days ago and I've been sulking and I've been avoiding doing level design ever since. But I cranked out some good ones last night, so I felt pretty good about it. I think they're good. Testing will tell. I think my goal is to get something around March. I want to have something that I can give people. Not like real people, like you got. You guys are real. But like a small number of people to test. Not anything that'll leak or get to the press or anything, but just to you guys. I've got a couple of ideas for names. Is Maya better for modeling than 3ds Max? It totally depends on what you're doing. Yeah, Mittens, you were in that one when the internet died. It's like, hey, this is fun. Oh, great, guys, let's talk about the game. Pfft. Fucking internet goes. That was so funny. Yeah, the Maya vs. Max thing, people in chat can talk about that. No, I don't think I'll do an early access. I think I'll just do, like, later literally give out keys to maybe the people that have been following me from the beginning. You guys actually probably would be the ones. As well as like some of all my designer buddies. Anybody that's a game designer that is willing to play would be good. I'm glad you like it, Yerks. I mostly just use Maya. Unless I have a very, like, if the studio, I mean, you use the tools that are used at your studio, right? For rigging and animation, Maya's superior, in my experience. There's things I like about Max. I like that you can directly manipulate basically, how I put it? For writing tools and things, Maya's way more superior. You have their API is just very, very strong and well thought out. And it's in Python rather than Max script, which is a piece of shit. So you have access to all the Python libraries. Max doesn't even really give you access to their API. They got like, as far as scripting, making tools goes, Max is crap. It is cool that you have access directly, like, in Maya you spend most of your time thinking about things literally in Euclidean space. Like, you think in rotate X, Y, and Z. Whereas in Max you set things with quaternions, which is something that you don't really get. I mean, you can do that in Maya through the API, but it's harder. So a lot of anything you have to do with math is easier in Max, but for the most part, like, overwhelmingly, it's not my favorite thing in the world at all. Modo. I don't know anybody using Modo. The new rigging animation software on Steam. I haven't played with it. In general, if my friends come to me and they're like, you will work so much faster if you use this software, I'll try it. But other than that, a piece of software, any new technology, has to have some compelling thing that is not in other technology, right? And Steam doesn't have that with their stuff. As soon as somebody's like, you either have to word of mouth convince me that the workflow is so much better, which Steam definitely isn't, or you have to have some feature that is not in anything else. I'm not really looking for something that already does what I can already do, right? There's no point in learning a new program when I have so much time and energy invested in already having learned these programs, unless it does something that, like, come up with something I don't know I need until I have it, and then I can't live without it. You know what I mean? And that's not impossible. That happens all the time. But try out this new software. Why? Just because is not... I'm not gonna do that. It's just not gonna happen. Oh, whoops. So that'll go kind of like that, maybe. What else are we gonna do here? That's gonna work out well. Oh, whoops. What happened? What did I do? When did I fuck this up? Jesus. Oh, what is going on in this chat? Start sculpting in VR? Oh my god, I worked on a VR game for a while. The amount of coffee that was knocked over was like excessive. VR is cool though. It's definitely cool, and there's a lot of unexplored and interesting space, especially in tech art, I think, for VR. I have a lot of stories about VR too. Like I was making a game where I was an astronaut, and like I reached a point where I would take off the headset after working for a couple hours, and I'd look at my arms and I wouldn't recognize them. Like I didn't believe they were mine. Like they looked so thin and weird because I was used to wearing a big astronaut suit all day, and I just couldn't handle like that. Like I didn't believe they were my own arms. It was weird. Oh, I think I fucked this up enough. I'm probably gonna have to just completely redo that at some point. But yeah. Anyway. So that's about there. I almost feel like this whole element should be higher. Oh, then I lose the cool eyes. What's this arm gonna be? Hey, Furious. I'm working on the trombone right now. Or the thing inspired by a trombone. Ah, you got me. Thanks, Tom. Hey, have fun at work, Javis. Alright. It's daunting, this other limb. I don't know what to start with. Let's scrap this for now. Scrap this. I like the idea. I need a mouthpiece. I want it to be, what do you call it? The horn in the mouthpiece. Somebody in chat said the name of this thing earlier. I like the idea that they're the same. Kind of like the idea that this element goes like that. I need